This is what we've got this morning. Best coffee in South Africa. Hey guys, how are you all doing? Welcome back to another week. Today I thought I would do a running Q&A because I haven't done a Q&A in a while, and I thought it might be fun just to have like one topic to talk about rather than getting carried away with loads of different stuff. I've just got back from my longest run of the year. It was 25 kilometers or just over, and it's actually snowing in London now. Only like a tiny bit, but it was flipping freezing. But it was good, it felt super good, and it's nice to get outside. So I thought today was the perfect opportunity to talk to you guys. So let's crack on with the questions. Okay, so my first question is from Jacob Robinson, and his question is, where do you buy your running kit? I buy my running kit mainly from Nike, just because I think their stuff's really nice. Especially trainers, I'm always scared to try out anything different because I think once you have a trainer that you like, probably best to stick with it. So yeah, probably Nike, but also Adidas. Over the last few years, I've been really loving their stuff. They've kind of actually made some progress in the running market because their stuff was always a bit rubbish. So Christoph says, what music do you listen to when you go running? Upbeat music to keep you going, ? I actually don't listen to music when I run. I find it really distracting and I get bored of listening to music, so I'll either have nothing on at all, or if I need to distract myself, if it is like a really long one, then I'll listen to a podcast. Rich Roll does incredible podcasts. He's like an ultra endurance athlete, triathlete I think. He always has really interesting guests on, and yeah, they're great ideas. So I'd rather listen to a podcast than music. Okay, so Christine asks, how and when did you get into running? I haven't been into running for that long. I used to do 5, 10Ks quite often, like every other day, but it was never a big thing for me. My sister's a runner herself, and also a personal trainer, so she's been super keen into running, and I guess from that I've kind of just got a little bit more interested in it. So for me it was less about loving running and being interested in running, it was more about finding something which I could aim towards, force me outside of my comfort zone and to do something and to complete something which I never believed I could do. I really got into it last year. Last August I started training for the marathon. And then my first marathon was November, so I suppose you could say I started training in last August. That was August 2015 now. Flip, that's a long time ago. Barani asks, what is your go-to post-run food? Can you share a recipe? Probably don't need a recipe, it's very simple. I would normally, after a run, have 1 or 1.5 avos sliced on rye bread, and then usually with poached eggs as well. And then a smoothie, which would be that Sun Warrior protein powder, frozen banana, almond milk and peanut butter. That's or almond butter if I can afford it. Breakfast is actually my favourite meal of the day now. Ryan says, how effective or ineffective is nutrition for you during a race? What do you use for nutrition? I'd say it's pretty effective if you're doing a long race. I know for comrades, I don't think I would have managed to complete it if it wasn't for keeping up my food intake. I think I tend not to eat unless it's kind of longer than a 2-hour run. For instance, this morning I started eating at 1.5 hours. Never big quantities during a run. It's probably cubes like this. It's also mentally something to think about because you think every, say, half an hour you can have something to eat. So yeah, I think that helps quite a lot. Yeah, how effective? I think it's pretty effective. It depends what it is as well. I always find something that's like easily digestible, otherwise you're just going to be wanting the loo the entire run. Date balls work really well because it's just that like natural sugars. I found they helped a lot. So that kind of thing I find really useful, but anything else I try and stay clear of, I think. Bells says, what do you do to prepare before race day? I should ask my sister all these questions because I don't really race that often. I don't know, just like stretch lots, maybe a bit of yoga or something. In the few races I've done, it's more just about don't stress because I just want to enjoy the next day. It's never like a competitive thing for me, so it's always just about enjoying it. So maybe I'd normally do a small run or something, but again, that's more just to like loosen me up and make sure I'm all ready for the next day. But yeah, I'm probably not the person to ask. I should ask my sister all these questions. Okay, so a question from Liam Edwards. He says, does running help with stress, i.e. work? I'm sure there's like a load of research that says it helps, but for me personally, I know if I'm feeling stressed or whatever, then really quick run, just like get out all of the frustrations and anger or whatever, get it all out in like a good fast run, always helps. And so it's just a way of clearing your mind and focusing on something else. I think that's always going to be a stress reliever. And I think anyone who does run could tell you that they feel so much better and so much less moody after a run. This coffee's great, by the way. Mark asks, how often do you do interval training, and if so, what kind of intervals? A little bit. For example, the other day I did like a 30-minute easy run, and then I did 1200 meters at like my 10k pace, did that 5-6 times, and then like a cool down. So I guess you could kind of call that interval training, but yeah, that's kind of the sort of thing I would do. It really depends what you're training for, I guess. So Christoph again says, days when motivation is low, how do you motivate yourself to go running? To be honest, I don't really have to motivate myself to go running. When you get into that routine and habit of just going every other day, whatever, it just becomes super easy because you just know like you're not going to function, you're not going to start your day until you've run. So whether you do it at 7 AM or 9 AM, all you're doing is postponing it. You know you're going to do it at some point. The only thing I struggle with is getting out of bed super early, especially like in winter in the UK, but that's the only thing I struggle with. I think once you're out of bed, same as for most people, then it's fine. I think if motivation's low, then I'll just tell myself, okay, just go outside and you can do as short or as long as you want, so long as you go and you start the run. I think it's, again, running is something you can really only enjoy when you've been doing it for a while, I think. Same as most sports. Although cycling is different. You can pretty much enjoy it at any level because you never feel like you're good at cycling. Whereas running, you can get back and be like, or at least this was for me, maybe I was just always pretty crap. But running was something where I can see progress, and I think that really motivates me. Whereas cycling, it always seemed just as hard. Even if I was going faster, the hills were just as bad, or like the cycle seemed just as long. So I think, yeah, that's different with different sports, I guess. Cool, well that is the end of my Q&A. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Just some simple, short running questions. I hope I've answered all of them. If not, then just comment in the, whatever it's called, comment section below, and I will answer any more questions you might have. But I hope you guys have an awesome week, and I'll see you next week. Thanks so much for watching, and go well. Play button. Guys, I totally forgot what I wanted to say. I have a bit of an announcement for you. Or at least I have an announcement for myself, because by saying it to you guys, it means it's happening. And I totally forgot to mention it. So, but I've decided I'm going to, as I did Comrades last year, I'm going to do 2 oceans this year. So I registered last year just in case, but I hadn't kind of officially started training for it. But yeah, I'm going to do 2 oceans, which is a 56-kilometer race in Cape Town. So I'll be back there in April, I think it's Easter weekend, to do 2 oceans. So I'm super excited for that. I've heard so much about how awesome the support is there. The vibe is supposed to be crazy. So yeah, I have something to train towards, and I'll keep you guys posted on how it's all going. But yeah, I can't believe I forgot to say that. I answered everything, yeah. Okay, bye.